How's it going, guys? Today I wanted to talk about ratcheting screwdrivers. So this is a project I've been working on for a little while. Obviously, we make compact multi-tools that are perfect to stick in your pocket and have on the mountain, whether you're snowboarding or at the beach if you're surfing, and those are great for portability. But sometimes you're working on your fin box of your surfboards, in the garage, or you're mounting up a new set of bindings, and it's just nice to have something, with a little beefier form factor. Um, so I've been sort of exploring these for a while, and you can buy something like this from, let's say, FCS or Decine. At a surf shop or a snowboard shop for 15 to 25 bucks. But I've kind of just really not feeling the quality and what I can offer around that price, and really just have never done it because these plastic handles, and oftentimes like pretty cheap bits is just not really something that we're about, as a brand. So we've just not done it. There were some things that I kind of experimented with. For example, we did make a wooden handle here, that we sort of did with one of our overseas factories, and I like this better. But to sort of, like, I guess the difference between something like this and something like this in price to have it made is pretty drastic. So I'm just trying to get my head around, like, how can I offer something that I feel is unique, better, different, probably at a little higher price, but where the quality and the value is there. I've kind of taken a step back from this project and want to sort of approach it in a whole new way. Um, and I feel like the at least the wooden handle is something that we can do right here in the workshop. We've got some sort of woodworking equipment that we use to make displays, retail displays for a lot of our different dealers. So I wanted to just take a stab at, let's make a handle, and just kind of see, even if we only make a few, just see what we learn, see where it goes. I was able to source, just kind of the ratcheting component, and this would have a forward, a reverse, and sort of a neutral stop. Um, and if you're just sourcing this component, you don't really have your pick of the litter in terms of, like, I mean, we can go down a whole rabbit hole on just how many teeth this has, and how the quality of the ratchet, and how well it holds, and a lot of the companies that do a real nice, I guess, ratchet mechanism either have a patent on it, or don't make it available to anyone other than their own brand. So I think we're just going to go ahead and sort of turn a wood handle, install this. We've already got like a nice metal case that we do for our torque wrench, and this is a little bit smaller version of that. And we have available really nice high quality S2 steel bits. So I think to get us kind of to a point where we can offer something a little bit more bespoke, a little bit nicer quality, a little bit more craft, that kind of aligns with what we want to do as a brand. I think we're not too far from that. So we chose wood because I feel like wood and metal are just more sustainable materials. We try to use as little plastic as we can. Sometimes it's just unavoidable, but microplastics take so long to degrade in the environment, and they work their way into drinking water. And it's just anything I can do to kind of do my little part of it to just avoid using plastics as much as possible, I think is just better for everyone in the long term. Plus, too, like, I mean, I just prefer the look and feel of wood and metal, and in some cases leather. So my friend Andy invited me over to his garage, and he was doing some cleaning up, and he had a lot of end cuts, some really nice wood that he needs to part ways with. So this is like a Fijian mahogany, that I think was used on a decking project. This is some teak that I think was also used maybe in some furniture. Um, and then we've got a big chunk of walnut, which is just a nice hardwood that has a nice dark look to it. So we can probably get these cut, get them into a thickness that'll work for sort of the handle thickness. Um, Probably cut the bevels on our table saw, and then do the rest of it on a lathe. So yeah, let's get to work. Kind of what I'm going for is I like this hex shape here, and let's see, that's about, let's measure this from flat to flat. It's just over 1.25 inches. So I cut all these at about 1.5 inches. Now some of these are less than 1.25 inches. Like this guy right here is just over 3/4 of an inch. So I'll have to glue some of these up, and I'm not sure how much I'm going to stress about kind of aligning the grain. Actually, that might not be too hard to do. Okay, so I've got my blocks cut. Just looking at like the glue line. It's hard to, you can kind of tell right there, but yeah, I think these are going to look fine. So next we need to bevel these edges because it's going to be kind of a 6-sided handle. So we'll do that right now. Off to the lathe. So I'm at my Uncle Victor's house, and he's got the lathe here. Is this Grandpa's lathe, or is this yours?
This is mine.
Okay. So let me show you what this is going to become. That's a little bit of kind of what I'm looking for. It doesn't have to be exactly like that, and we can talk about.
And you want it short like this?
I think it's going to be longer than that, but I don't think it's going to be full size. Like this is kind of a stubby, but so I think I want it to be somewhere between like a full size and like a stubby. Yeah. So
you want it somewhere between
those, exactly. So anyways, we've got these already. You know, we've got the hexagon shape, and then see how these corners are kind of knocked down.
Right.
So, you know, I'd want to knock down these corners a little bit, and then that, you can see this has like an inner diameter here, and then it's got those flanges on it. So we would just need to get a hole, you know, cut a hole here that's that inner diameter, and then those just press right in with some epoxy.
But there's a problem. This may not fit my chucks.
Okay.
But I figured out a way to overcome that. These are wood turners chucks.
Okay.
And they work by either grabbing hold of the tendon.
Oh, right, got it.
Or you can make a hollow and expand these chucks to hold the work. These are the smallest chucks I have, and I don't even know. I think you're getting more into specialized stuff, but I have a way I can modify this and be able to do what we want to do.
Sounds good. Looks like you're getting it in there. So you're just gonna hold like, looks like a couple of the sides?
Yeah, that'll do it. I think that'll do it.
Yeah, it looks like that's gonna work. Yeah, so that's what we got. We got to figure out how to get this a little straighter. You know, because this is just done on a table saw.
Right.
Like,
and it's not a bad job.
Yeah, we learned that just holding it on the one end this thing's wobbling around because we didn't start with round stock on a lathe. We started with this on a table saw, moved it to the lathe, and it's just not true and round. So we chucked it on this side, and now I'm gonna hit the button here, Uncle Victor. We're a hell of a lot more true. There?
Yeah.
Wow.
Feel how hard that is.
Yeah, it's pretty good, right?
Yep.
Looks like a screwdriver to me.
Ta-da!
Thank you, sir.
Oh, no problem.
Okay, so let's talk about some finishing touches. So we've got our logo on here now. It came out pretty nice, laser etched. We also finished the handles. After trying a few different things, we kind of decided that really the best thing to use is linseed oil. So we came back and put a coat or two of linseed oil on all of these. And the nice thing about that is you still get this really natural finish where you can really see the wood. It's not like shiny and cheap looking. And also, like as you're using this thing, the moisture in your hand kind of actually makes contact with the wood grain in a way that's, I think, better than maybe some cheap shiny coating that's on there that might slip in your hand. So really like how that came out. The next thing we did was kind of a big thing was we sourced really nice S2 steel bits that are made in the U.S. So these are really high quality machined bits that were kind of hard to come by. I think we're gonna go ahead and offer a package like you see here, and I think we're gonna offer it a couple different ways. I think for like kind of the everyday sort of light duty home mechanic slash kind of DIYer, there's a combination of Phillips slotted and Torx bits that I think would be great for kind of a home setup. And then of course, like being a action sports tool company, I think it made sense to offer us assortment here that's kind of more targeted at the surfboard, the skateboard, the snowboard. Because that's where I tend to use a screwdriver like this is more kind of on the board sports side of things. So basically we're going to offer two um, types of sort of bit assortments. And then we had some foam cut. So we had some nice foam that's laser cut to kind of fit the whole deal, the whole layout real nice and clean. And then the last thing we did was just put this nice foil sticker sort of on the top here. And yeah, I think the presentation came out great. Pretty excited about this. So we've got for sure two handles that we're going to offer. We're going to offer the walnut, like you see here, and then we're also going to offer the Fijian mahogany. Came out real nice. You can see how nice that logo came out. I think we're going to kind of pump the brakes on the teak because even though we, made a like kind of our first prototype using the teak with no issues, when I went to actually press one of the ratchets in, we did get some splits in the wood. And luckily, it didn't split where we had layered up the wood during the initial cutting on the table saw, but it did split along the grain. So that's a little concerning that On the first couple that we tried, it didn't split, but then later it split. And so I think just the uncertainty of that, we'd want to probably do a little more homework. So yeah, so we're going to offer 2 finishes and then 2 different sort of bit assortments, and we will just kind of assemble these things to order. So they're up on the website now. Check the link in the description. Excited to get these things out to you. And this first one here is going to go to Uncle Victor. All right. Thanks a lot for watching, guys.